Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I just wanted to speak to you guys today, not from a theory standpoint, but from my own lived experience. There was a point in my younger years when my life could have gone terribly wrong. I had a near-death experience back in the day that shook me to my very core, even up to today when I think about it. At that moment, I realized how fragile this life is and how close I had come to living it, living this world without direction, without purpose, without any relationship, meaningful relationship with my creator. Now, that experience forced me to pause for a while, to confront myself and begin to ask, what am I really living for? What is the purpose of my life? That moment changed my path. It led me to pursue knowledge at the International Islamic University, not because it promised status or career, but because I needed some form of structure, some form of grounding in my life, and some truth. Later in life, standing in front of the Kaaba and during Hajj, wheeling my father in a wheelchair to the dense crowds, I learned another layer of faith. I saw sincerity, humanity, humility, and the quiet nobility of people simply trying to please their creator, their Lord. Now, those moments didn't make me an absolute perfectionist. They made me aware, but life didn't come easy. Over the years, my health even reminded me that I am not invincible. I had blocked arteries, angina scares, doctor's appointments, still on full medication, quiet fears you don't always voice out. Now, cycling became my therapy. Now, those moments on that bicycle, watching the world move gently past, my heart pumping, my body hurting, my muscles screaming, reminded me of something even deeper. I am still here because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows me to still be here. Every breath He lends me is a borrowed breath. And through all of this, I noticed a difficult truth about myself. There were times when I would turn to Allah only when I was desperate, when I needed help, when fear crept in, when the heart felt tight. That isn't a relationship, that's survival. Survival mode for faith. It's like only calling a friend when you need money. Then it clicked. Prayer is not a formality, it's not a ritual, it is continuity. The 5 daily prayers Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us is a pure hotline to Him. Subuh became a lifeline, Zuhur, Asar, Maghrib, Isha anchored my day. The Sunnah prayers before and after Fard softened my heart. I treated prayer less like obligations and more like a conversation with my Creator. Less like ritual, more like a physical connection. But the biggest transformation came at night. This I was taught earlier on in my life that there is something special about standing in silence during Tahajjud. When the house is still, when the world is asleep, when no one sees you except the one who always sees you. During the quiet nights, especially here in Perth, during the long silent hours when thoughts become heavy and remorse begins to fill your heart, during the periods about losing loved ones, during moments of worry for my children, my grandchildren, my family, my community. Now, Tahajjud gave me calm. Not all my du'as were answered in the way I truly imagined, but Allah gave me something even better. He gave me strength and a willpower. He gave me patience. He gave me a sense of being resilient to all these difficulties. And He allowed me to accept Him. Sometimes He didn't change the situation. He changed me. So I say this not as a preacher, an imam, but as a man who has lived, stumbled, been carried, and still keeps walking. Never lose your connection to Allah. Guard your fard. Honor your sunnah. Find your quiet moments in the night. Not because you are perfect, but because you are just being His creation, being human. And the human heart needs its creator, needs its master. Life didn't become flawless after that, but my heart became steadier. My soul became less afraid. And my trust in Allah, it became more real. May Allah keep our hearts connected forever, not only in crisis, but in gratitude, humility, love, and hope.